David Ney is a housing advisor in Rangoon. He has been living in the city for 3 years and has seen the demand for accommodation grow as an increasing number of foreigners move in.
I don't think that the places are coming up fast enough to really accommodate for the amount of people that are coming in looking for places. I think that there is a large mass of accommodation that has just gone unrented.
In the past, many property owners in Burma bought housing to preserve money after the country suffered several demonetizations of the currency under military rule. Some homeowners would rather leave a place empty than go through any financial risk by renting to foreigners.
We've had people come with the money in hand. I myself had my money in my hand when I first came out here, and 4 or 5 times I had my bags packed just waiting on the street for the process to go through, and my agent was saying to me, I'm sorry, they refuse to rent to foreigners.
When Paul Miniletti started looking for a new house, he found himself in a similar situation.
The broker showed me around and then said, and it was a nice place, so we agreed on the price and said okay, and then so I went to the bank and changed all my money so I could pay like a year's rent up front, and then when I got there, the broker was like, oh, the landlord's spoken to her lawyer, and because that landlord had never had foreigners staying at her properties before, so the landlord's spoken to her lawyer, and her lawyer's advised her not to have a foreigner because it's very expensive and very time-consuming.
Many homeowners see renting to foreigners in Burma as higher risk and more hassle than renting to locals. Archaic laws dating back to colonial times, including the Foreigners Registration Act 1940, mean that renting to foreigners is a complicated process. Several different documents and forms need to be copied, filled in, verified, and taken to 4 different levels of authorities before a foreigner can legally stay in a building. And it's difficult to do it alone.
You need to have someone who's able to go through this process for you, whether it's a Burmese friend who can even stand in line or walk into these offices, or an agent or a kind housing owner who's willing to take this on. And some housing owners are. Some housing owners are very kind, and they're saying that if you want to live in their house, then they will do the process for you. But a lot of times housing owners just don't want to go through it because it's hours in line sometimes in order to get this paperwork filed.
And they're also worried about repercussions if there is a problem. Many homeowners worry that they will be punished if foreigners don't register correctly.
The house owner is really at risk. So he will be some warning by the authority or some punishment and by the administrative procedure.
But not all townships are very strict. In some areas, homeowners have bought property specifically to rent to foreigners at the inflated prices they can now charge. Immigration restrictions here are more relaxed, and many foreigners go unregistered.
In practice, I do not hear any case about the taking action to the foreigners in the present time. After 2012, it's a really relaxing situation.
The absence of rule of law in Burma means people are still testing the waters with changes the law has not kept up with. But even though in practice things have changed, foreigners still face difficulties renting. After a few weeks, Paul was able to find somewhere to live, but it took some time to find the perfect place.
There'd already been several places where I'd been told by the people living downstairs or by brokers that the apartment was free, but then they said, oh, but foreigners can't stay there. And then the landlords are afraid to have foreigners stay there, basically.
Changes in Burma are happening fast, but many are still scared of being punished under the previous system, while old laws remain in place.
I don't think the owners are fully aware of the legal standing. I don't think that the brokers are fully aware of the legal standing. I think that they're more aware than someone coming in off the street, but I don't think that it's really clear for anyone.
The law needs to change, or local property owners need to be reassured by authorities that they can rent to foreigners now without fear of reprisal.